What's going on?
Yeah, explain what's going on, Chelsea.
Oh, so sometimes after Grey's Anatomy, it requires an explanation because Elizabeth doesn't like to watch them. She just likes me to tell them about them. Wait, tell her about them. And I do a really good job of this. So here goes. This week, oh, we're gonna shut the door to make this more. Oh, okay. So this week, basically, to give you a lead-in, all the doctors, by which I mean all the like original people, and anyway, they're all just studying for their boards. I don't really know exactly what that is, but it's a doctor test. So they're studying for their boards. Some of them are doing a better job than others. And also, I came in a couple minutes late. So when I came in, what was on screen was this man who's kind of yellow because all of his organs are failing, which is not good. But he is waiting for a transplant of like multiple organs because he needs that. So the chief is doing the surgery, and Bailey, I think, and Meredith. And anyway, he's like, yeah, don't call my family, and I'm just not going to be able to, it's not going to actually happen because I've been on this list forever, and usually the person either doesn't die or something, whatever. So they get the organs, by which I mean they go and look at them, and there's a thing on one of them that they think is like a tumor. So the chief is like, we have to take that off and we can still use it. And then, wait, he's not the chief anymore. Sorry. Richard, whatever. Old ex-chief. Ex-chief is like, wait, we can still use that. Take off the tumor. And in medical terms. And so Mark Sloan, aka, wait, is he McSteamy? Okay, McSteamy is acting as chief because Owen is not there, who's the current chief. I'll explain that in a second. So Mark comes in, he's like, you're not going to use that organ that has a tumor. He's got to go back on the transplant list. So they go back to Yellow Man, and they're like, don't worry, you can't have your surgery today. And he's like, I'm not going to survive the day, which is sad. But anyway, so they're all, okay, this is not the right thing. We have to find a way to use this organ. So Mark goes away, and they like try and reschedule the surgery. So that's one part of the plot. Meanwhile, super drama. The reason Owen's not there is because last episode he told Christina that he cheated on her. So Christina's flipping out, and Owen's like, you don't need to know all the details. Just one time. I mean, so now that we are back, I think we were talking about Owen and Christina. Okay, so I think what I was saying was that Owen is like, you don't need to know, it was just sex. Okay, yeah. And Christina's like, no, I still need to know. And so then it does this weird, like, kind of flashback thing where it sort of, like, shows him and this woman comes in with some man who, maybe it was a woman, I don't know, some relative or some close loved one that was in a tragic accident. And because Owen does all the, like, what's that called? Emergency stuff. He like fixes this person, and she's all like, oh my gosh, thank you. And she's like, you should kiss me. And he's like, I can't. It's wrong. She's like, I don't care. So anyway, that's what happens. Christina finds out about this and like freaks out more than she already is because she already was. Meanwhile, at some point in this, I think it already happened before what I just explained, but Meredith calls and is like, yo, Christina, what's up? Except she doesn't really say it like that because she knows that Owen cheated on her and she's worried about Christina. Anyway, Christina's like, we have the flu. So that's why they're not at work, is what she says. And she hangs up on her, even though Meredith's like, okay, well, I really want to make sure you're okay. So that happens. Christina locks Owen out of the bathroom because she's in there. And he's like freaking out because he thinks that she might have like hurt herself. And he's like, you gotta let me in. I'm gonna break down the door. And she opens the door where he's like coming in, and then she laughs at him for a long time, which is kind of really strange. So then they're just sitting there like trying to talk. I think there's some more medical stuff in between this. Okay, so the part about, yes, at some point the doctors come back in and Lexi has that whole like photographic memory thing. So they're trying to learn for their boards. And so they, like, take her... Oh, Alex tries to steal a bunch of files from the file room. He's not allowed to take them to study. So they take her in there, and they're like, look, memorize all these files, because you're awesome, and you have photographic memory. And then next year we'll give you a leg up when we're, like, special doctors or whatever they are. So Lexi does, and she looks through, and then she's really tired at the end of the episode. What else is happening? Oh, there's also a guy who has juvenile arthritis. Maybe that's not what it's called. It's something like that. And so he's having a jaw surgery. And because Mark Sloan is chief, he keeps being really obnoxious to Derek because Derek's like, I can't do this surgery. And he's like, you have to rise above it. And he thinks he's a great, super awesome leader. So at some point that surgery happens. Everything's happy. Yay, done. But back to the yellow guy who has the organ failure. So again, Sloan comes in and gets mad at them and is like, you can't do the surgery. And meanwhile, the guy's like, I told you this wasn't going to happen. But Richard, ex-chief man, has gone in the other room and, like, takes it was a benign tumor. It wasn't, anyway, off of the other organ. So then they do the organ transplant and everything is well. And the guy wakes up and he's like, why isn't any of my family here? Because he's sad about that. I guess he should be happy that all of his organs are good now, but he doesn't really think of that. So Meredith is like, you didn't want me to call them. You told me not to call them. And he's like, but they should have come. They're my family. They should be here. Dramatic. And Meredith's like, let's call them. And then he's happy. Meanwhile, Owen and Christina are still flipping out. So, wait. Oh, yeah, so Owen basically admits eventually that he did it to get her back because she had an abortion, so he wanted to, like, hurt her. She comes to this realization. And then she gets mad, and the next shot is him all, like, packed up. Apparently all of his stuff fits in a backpack. I don't really know how that's possible, but he says that it is. So, yeah, and he's walking out, and he's like, I will always love you. And Christina's just like, okay, bye. So, he leaves. Oh, another thing that happens is that Callie and, what's her name? Arizona. Are trying to have a girls' night for Altman. And they want they want Bailey to be there. But Bailey and her, what do we call him, a boyfriend? I don't know, her boyfriend or whatever, like, no, we want to, like, be together and have an evening into ourselves. Anyway, and so he convinces her, like, not to do the girls' night. This is going on through the episode, by the way. This is not all at the end. I don't do well with the order of things. And, so then... Wait, yeah, okay, so in the middle, everyone basically decides, like, nope, no girls' night. We're all going to have sexy times instead. So then Altman's like, oh, yeah, I'm so excited for girls' night. I can't wait to hang out, and I really need this because, like, dead husband and angry Owen and all of these other things that happened. And so Arizona's like, we're awful people. We're going to be good people instead and have girls' night. And so Altman comes over, and they have, like, lots of movies that sound really boring, and... salsa or something, and wine. Anyway, yeah, and they get foiled from their plans to be with their significant others, but they have girls' night, so yay, all is well. Also at the very, very end, there's this one part where Derek and Owen are on the roof, and this is at the end after Owen has, like, left Christina, and they're doing that weird thing where they hit golf balls off the roof, which I don't know why they do that. But anyway, in my opinion, that could really knock someone out. Like, if you get hit by a golf ball, like, across the city, like, what? Alright, so anyway, they do that. And then at the end, they all get together to study, by which I mean Meredith calls them all together. And, the last thing is, like, Christina comes and she's like, I'm gonna fail my boards. I gotta study. And Meredith's like, oh, hey, come on in, person. And so then they are all sitting there studying. That's the end.